Hello, folks. Today we're going to take a look at two different data types that we're going to see in game programming. The first one is going to be arrays, and the second one is going to be objects. Both of these are going to be used to store data, basically to store a series of variables, and we can access those and use those to control the flow of our games. You'll see these a lot with game development. It's how it's a very easy way to structure game data, and so you'll see it quite a bit. So the first one we're going to cover together are arrays. Okay, and what arrays are they're a collection of variables that are stored into memory. That's a fancy way of saying that it's a list. Okay. They're basically single objects that contain multiple values stored in a list. They can be stored in a variable, much the same way that we stored our strings and our numbers. The difference being is that we can access each value inside of the list and do some super useful and efficient things with that, like looping through the list and doing something to every value inside of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through a couple practice items, and we'll see what it's going to look like. So what we'll do is we'll start off with looking at what type of values can be stored in these type of lists. Okay, and the first thing that we can do is we can store a bit of text. So let's do let items equal. And if you're building a game, maybe these are the items in the game that, although I probably wouldn't code it like this, but we could just maybe list them off, maybe try to produce like a list of just items that can be picked up. We could do something like, we'll do food. We'll do a bread, do some milk, that's easy, some eggs. We'll do some chicken, okay. So yeah, this our item is our shopping list here. Basically, how we create a list is we use the square brackets at the beginning and the end. If it's a bit of text, we would use quotes around it, and we add a comma between the items in the list. Okay, in the array. So we can store items. The other thing we can store is let numbers equal. We can store numbers. We can do 1, 2, 5, 28, 34. Right, we can do a bunch of different numbers in there. We can store actually mixed values. And we can do maybe this is going to be player 1. Maybe we want to store the total number of players. It's a lot of players. And then maybe we want to add in tree. Basically, we can store in different items in this. We can store text. We can mix it up. We can do text, numbers. What else can we do? Can we do lists inside of lists? And yes, we can. They're called two-dimensional arrays. So we can do something like that. We can also store, we'll get to these next, which is going to be objects. We can store objects in here. And so something like that, that's an object. So we can store all type of things in arrays. Okay, so the next thing is we'll add a title here saying creating arrays. Next up we'll do is accessing and modifying array items. Okay, I'll add a result, and I'll add in I'll do let result. Actually, I'll just do let result at the top. I'm going to do the thing where we add console log statements. And then over here, I'll redefine it. Okay. So we're going to console log the result. We'll just set result. We'll mutate it as we go through the program. Okay, so let's find out let items. So let's find out what's inside that array. So how we would do that is we would give it the name of the array, items, brackets, and then we give it a number, say 0. Okay, and it will console log bread when we run our program. So why did 0 return bread? Why is that not 1? With almost every programming language on the planet, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3, every list starts counting at 0 instead of 1. So everything in an array has a position. So this is 0 position, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So everything starts at 0, and you basically count up the number of things inside that list. Now, there is no way to basically, type in, items bread. Basically, that's not how this works for an array. JavaScript doesn't care what's in the list. So let items, it doesn't really care what's inside of here. It doesn't keep track of what's inside here. All it knows is that there's a certain number of things inside of that list, and we can access those items. Okay. Now, we have something interesting here with mixed. Mixed has an array within an array. So let's find out what it thinks of that. Result equals mixed. And then what position? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I just did. 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, so let's console log that. Okay, so it returns the list within the list of mixed. So with that one, how do we maybe want to access the first thing inside, or maybe the third thing inside this list within a list? How do we do that? Well, if you want to do that, you just add another brackets next to it, and we would just type in what position we want. So 0, 1, 2. Let's get something in the that'd be the second position. 0, 1, 2, or second index position. Okay, and then we see that it reaches inside the mixed array, goes inside the second array, right, in the third position, and gets the item that's in the index value of 2. So that would be 0, 1, 2, right? So it gets that 2, console logs that 2. So we can access things within the array. Okay. All right, so let's add a comment there. This is accessing array within array. Okay. Next thing we'll do is take a look at how do we know if all right, so we're going to find what the positions are, or we want to know what's inside this array. Maybe we can't see it, or maybe it's in some database somewhere. So we can ask the computer to give us certain information about this array. And one thing we can do is say length of array. So we can get the computer to tell us how long the array is, and then we can maybe gives us a better idea of where we should start looking for it. So for this one, let's do we'll do results equals let's do numbers dot length. Okay. So dot length here is a property of numbers. And so we can just ask it, what is the length, right? Numbers dot property, numbers dot length, and it will tell us back 5. Okay. So we know that in the numbers array, there should be 5 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we got that right. Okay, good. So now what we can do is, if we know the length of the array, we can do things like we can go and just ask it for its random position, or we'll actually get to this later on where we're going to do loops. But I'll show you right here what we could do. We could basically go through each item in the list, okay, using that dot length feature, and go through and find each item in there and maybe console log each one. So let's do for let I equals 0, semicolon, while I is less than numbers dot length, okay, semicolon, I equals I plus 1. Okay, so and then we put our curly brace, opening and closing curly brace, and if you hit enter, it should space it out there for you. So what is this? Basically, we're going to be going through each element of the numbers list, numbers array, and asking it for every number as long as the basically the number we're counting doesn't go over the length of the array. That's how we would use that. Do something, and we can do something like console.log numbers I. Okay, and what that give us? Basically, it went through the array and it console logged each element in the array. It went through each position and console logged it out. We're going to go over for loops and how to write these in like a formal lesson soon. But for right now, I just wanted to show you like this is where we would use that length as a handy little feature to go through each element in the array. Okay, so what else can we do to it? Well, we can do things like we can add things to the array, and we can remove things from the array. So let's talk about that. Let's do add to okay. And there's two different ways to add things. We can add to the start of the array. In this one, let's use items. We'll add some more items to our list of items: bread, milk, eggs, and chicken. Let's add to that. What do you want to add? Let's add in our times. Let's add some toilet paper or something like that. Okay. So how do we add that to our list? Well, what we can do is we have our list name items. Actually, I'll do results equals items, and then we have as soon as we hit dot, it's going to give us some suggestions here, and we see pop and push, and that's what we're going to use. The first one's going to be push, and then we can give it the item we want to add. Oops. Oh man, there we go. Toilet paper. And let's console. Actually, we won't do a console log statement on that one. Let's get rid of that. And we'll just do results equals items. Oh, you know what it's doing? It's going through and doing this one too. I'm going to comment this one out. Okay, there we go. Oh, wait a minute. I messed up. Add to the end of the array. That's right. Pop is one that you add to the... okay, never mind. All right. Actually, pop is different. Pop is you remove. I don't know why this is an issue for me this morning. Okay. So, yes. When you do push, it will add it to the end of the array. So, in this case, we added toilet paper to the end of our list. To remove that item, okay, we can do remove from the end of the array. We can do items.pop. And what pop is going to do is, actually, if we hover over it, right, it's just simply going to remove the last element from the array and returns it, meaning that we can actually find out what it removed. But in this case, let's just do results equals items. And we see that toilet paper has been removed. So this gives us our options to work with those just by adding or removing the last item. Okay. And the other ones that I meant to do initially was add to the beginning of the array. We would do items dot shift. And we could pass in what we want to add. Let's add paper towels. And then we're going to move this console log statement down. Okay. So at this point, we've removed... whoops. I'm going to move this down too. There we go. I don't know. Why did that not work? What am I forgetting? I am a goof and forgot. There we go. It's unshift, not shift. All right, and then we can do is we can remove item at the beginning of the array. Items dot shift. There we go. And now we see paper towels is now removed. So I just mix those up. Okay, so yeah, we have unshift to add something and shift to bring it off the beginning of that array as well too. Okay. Okay, the last couple things are, what if we want to insert something into the middle of the array or at a random position? To position of array. So what we can do for this one is pretty easy. Basically, if we want to add something, say, in between the two of them, say we want to add paper towels back in, we can do items, and then we give it the position we want. So we want 0, 1, say we'll add it into the first position. Okay. And then what we can do is actually items.1, we can give it the item we want. Okay, paper towels. And then if we look, okay, what happened? So it didn't just insert the item, it actually changed the item. Okay, so here we see items in the first position, whatever that is, we now redefined it to be paper towels, and we got rid of whatever was there before.